My beloved child, do you know what time I entered the world? The Gospels don't say it outright, but my church has always known it was midnight, not just a random moment in the night. It was the hour when the world was asleep, when stillness wrapped the earth like a blanket, when darkness reached its deepest point, and in that holy hush I came. It was prophesied in the Book of Wisdom, when peaceful stillness encompassed everything, and the night in its swift course was half spent. Your all-powerful word leapt from heaven's royal throne. That word was me. Heaven had been waiting, the angels were ready, and at that exact moment, when hope seemed far and silence filled the air, I pierced the darkness. Light was born into the world. I, the light of the world, stepped into your night. And yet, you have time for everything but me. You make time for your friends, for scrolling, for building your life, chasing your dreams, your promotions, your passions. You make time for what feeds your ego, what stirs your pride, what numbs your pain. But where am I? The one who hung on a cross while you were still a sinner. The one who watched over you in the nights you never even prayed. The one who gave his life, and now only asks for your love. You say you're busy, but you weren't too busy for that conversation that lasted hours, that show that stretched into the night, that habit that takes up your mornings. My child, your heart has made room for so many things. But what about me? I'm not angry. I'm heartbroken. I died for you, not to burden you, not to guilt you, but to be with you, to walk with you, to heal you, to love you in a way no one else ever could. And yet, you treat me like a stranger. Like a voice you only visit when things fall apart. I wait by the door and you pass me by. I speak in the silence, but your world is too loud to hear me. My beloved, your time reveals your treasure. Where your time goes, your heart follows. If you never meet me in prayer, if you never open my word, if you never make time to simply sit with me, then what does that say about your love? I came into this world at midnight. I came into silence, into coldness, into stillness, because I wanted to enter your darkness, not to condemn you, but to dwell with you, to bring light, to begin again. You have made time for everything, except the one who died for you. But hear me, I am still here. I have not walked away. I have not withdrawn my love. I'm still knocking, still waiting, still calling your name, even now. Because midnight is not the end, it's the beginning. In my kingdom, the moment I arrive, night begins to turn into day. Even if your heart feels far, even if your life feels dry, I can bring it back to life. If only you'll open the door. So, my child, return to me. Just as I came to you in the silence of that first Christmas night, I will come again into your silence. If you'll give me your time, I will give you my heart, and I will make all things new. Let this be the moment where midnight turns to morning. Let this be the moment where love returns. I want you to do 3 things to awaken the energy of this moment. Pause this video, hit the like button so this message reaches other chosen souls, and subscribe to join thousands of radiant spirits walking this divine path. Then, type the number 777 in the comments below. This is a powerful symbol of spiritual alignment and divine favor. When you do this, you're sending a signal to the universe that you are ready to receive everything God has prepared for you. If you are truly one of the chosen, you will stay with me until the very end, because your soul already knows this truth is meant just for you. Now listen closely. You have filled your life with movement, but you've emptied your soul of meaning. Your schedule is packed, your notifications never stop, and your mind is always racing. But in the midst of that noise, my voice has grown faint. You've made yourself so available to the world, but you've made your heart unavailable to me. You chase productivity and call it purpose, but I did not design you just to perform. I designed you to commune. And when you neglect that divine communion, your soul begins to thirst in ways your routine can never quench. The busyness of your life has become the silence of your soul, You can feel it in the quiet moments, can't you? When everything is finally still, when the screen is off, the people are gone, and the lights are low. There's a hollow ache you can't quite name. That's not exhaustion, that's separation, that's distance from me. Because I created you for intimacy, for connection. And when your attention is given everywhere else, your spirit starts to wither from the inside out. It's not that you stopped believing in me. It's that you stopped being with me. That sacred time, where heaven brushes against your heart, where tears fall not from pain but from presence. That space is now filled with distractions. You're scrolling when you should be still. You're multitasking when I only ask for your focus. You feel overwhelmed, but don't realize the weight you carry comes from ignoring the one who could carry it all for you. I know the demands of your world. I walked it too. I know what it is to be pulled in every direction, to be pressed by expectations, to be crowded by noise. But I also know what it means to rise before the sun and retreat into prayer, to step away from the crowd just to be with my Father. That rhythm wasn't a luxury, it was my lifeline, and now it must become yours. You wonder why your peace is fragile, why your joy is fleeting, why you can be surrounded by people and still feel alone. It's because your soul has been whispering, "Come back." I'm not just calling you to slow down, I'm calling you to return. To the secret place, to the quiet place, to me, because when you're with me, time bends, minutes become moments, silence becomes sacred, and your tired, frantic heart finds rest. I do not ask for your perfection, I ask for your presence. I do not demand hours, I long for honesty. Just sit with me, even now. You don't need fancy words, you don't need to feel worthy, you only need to show up. So let the world wait for a moment. Let the notifications go unanswered. Let the noise die down and come back to where your soul is fed. I've missed you. I've watched you give everything to everyone. And I've waited for you to give even 5 minutes to me. Return, beloved. I am not far. I've been here the whole time, whispering your name in the silence. This moment, right now, can be the one where everything changes. If you're listening, then you already know it's true. Love once burned like fire in your soul. Do you remember? There was a time when my name brought tears to your eyes, when the sound of worship stirred something deep within you, when you felt alive just being in my presence. You hungered for me. You couldn't get enough. You would wake up with me on your mind and fall asleep speaking my name. But now, that flame has grown cold. Life happened. The routine took over. And what once was burning is now only barely glowing beneath the ashes. I see it. You still say you love me, and I know you mean it. But it doesn't look the same. You've traded passion for patterns. You've replaced intimacy with information. You go through the motions. Maybe a prayer here, a verse there. But the fire is missing. That wild, childlike trust, that trembling awe, that sacred hunger. You've become so good at surviving, you forgot how to be surrendered. I never asked you to just obey me. I asked you to love me with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your strength. But love doesn't grow in autopilot. It doesn't survive on leftovers. Real love, holy love, must be pursued, protected, and poured out. And if you don't feed it, it fades. You've been feeding everything else, feeding your image, feeding your goals, feeding your fears, and somewhere along the way, you forgot to feed your spirit. That's why it feels dry. That's why you don't feel me the way you used to. Not because I left, but because you stopped letting me in. Love isn't a feeling, my child. It's a flame, and flames need fuel. You can't expect the fire to keep burning if you no longer sit by it. You can't expect warmth when you've walked away from the hearth. That warmth, that closeness, that intimacy you once had with me, it's not gone forever. It's waiting. I'm waiting. All it takes is a spark. The world wants your heart to grow cold. The enemy wants to lull you into a lukewarm life where you say my name but never know my power. Where you attend church but never encounter me. Where you serve out of duty but not out of desire. But I want your heart alive. I want love to rise in you like a tide. I want your soul to burn again, not with religious guilt, but with holy longing. Don't you see, I haven't changed. My love hasn't cooled. My arms haven't closed. I am still the same one who called your name when no one else saw you. Still the same one who wept when you wept. Still the same one who carried you when you had no strength. And now I'm calling again. Not to shame you, but to reignite you. Let me breathe on the coals. Let me speak life into your tired heart. Come back to the place where it was just me and you. No pressure. No performance. Just love. You don't have to earn your way back. You only have to turn around. I'll meet you there. I always do. Even when your love grows cold, mine burns on. Let this be the moment the fire returns. Not because you felt guilty, but because you remembered how deeply, how endlessly you are loved. I wait for you in the quiet moments you avoid. I'm there, in the early morning silence, in the stillness before the world wakes, in the moments between your thoughts. I am not hidden in chaos, I am found in calm, but you rush past me. You avoid the quiet because the quiet speaks too loudly. It reveals the ache, the questions, the truth. It strips away the noise that shields you from hearing what your soul already knows. You need me. I've watched you fill your life with sound, music always playing, screens always glowing, people always around. You fear the silence because silence is where I speak. And you know that if you stop long enough, if you slow down just enough, you will hear me calling your name. But you're not sure if you're ready to answer. You tell yourself you're busy, that life is demanding, that you'll get to me later. But I wait, not with impatience, not with judgment, but with longing. I wait when you open your eyes and reach for your phone instead of me. I wait in those long drives where your heart starts to feel again, but you quickly drown it out with another voice, another noise. I wait in your sadness, in your questions, in your laughter, in your longing. And though you try to hide from your own heart, I see it clearly. I see every corner of it. I see where it's cracked. I see where it's tired. I see where it's still reaching for me, even when you don't admit it. I have always spoken in whispers. When Elijah stood on the mountain, I was not in the earthquake or the fire. I was in the still small voice, and I am still that same voice today, gentle, patient, tender. But to hear me, you must stop running. You must allow space for silence. You must let your soul breathe again. You think I'm far away, but I'm closer than your next breath. The distance you feel isn't from me pulling back, it's from you pulling away. I haven't left, I haven't stopped speaking. You've just been too full to notice, full of stress, full of worry, full of distractions, and yet I wait. I'm not asking for a performance. I'm asking for your presence. I want to walk with you in the garden like I did with Adam. I want to sit with you at the table like I did with my disciples. I want to weep with you like I did with Mary. I want to speak to you in the quiet like I did with Samuel. But you must come away for a while. You must choose the better portion like Mary did while Martha was busy with so many things. Let me in, not just into your Sunday morning, not just into your crisis, but into your every moment. Into the silence you keep running from. Because it's in that silence I remind you who you are. It's in that quiet space that I reveal who I am. And when the world is loud, and your mind is louder, it's only in stillness that you will find rest for your soul. I wait not because I need you. I wait because I want you. Not the version of you that pretends to be fine, but the real you, the broken you, the searching you, the heart that aches to be known. Let me be that safe place again. Let me be the voice you return to, not the one you avoid. This quiet moment is not empty, it's holy, and I am here, waiting to fill it with my love. The one who was crucified for you is now crucified by your neglect. I bore the cross for you, not out of obligation, but out of love that no words can fully describe. I was beaten, mocked, pierced, and hung between criminals. I gave my final breath thinking of your name, hoping for your heart. And yet now, you've placed me on a different kind of cross. Not with nails, but with your silence. Not with a crown of thorns, but with your forgetfulness. Not on a hill called Calvary, but in the quiet corners of your life where you've chosen to forget me. Each time you pass me by for what is temporary, you wound me again. Not because my suffering wasn't enough, but because your heart has grown so distant, it no longer trembles at the thought of my sacrifice. You've heard the story so many times, it's become a memory instead of a miracle. You've turned the cross into decoration. You wear it around your neck, but not upon your soul. You look at it, but you don't pause to feel the weight of it. My love poured out, my blood spilled, my body broken. And still, you treat me like a stranger in your own home. You say, I'll pray later. I'll change one day. I'll return when life settles down. But don't you see? I am your life. Without me, your victories are hollow, your pursuits are fleeting, your dreams crumble like dust. I didn't just die to save you from sin. I died to live with you now, in your moments, in your mess, in your joy, but you've placed everything else before me and then wondered why your soul feels so dry. I watch as you make time for everyone else, for texts, for meetings, for scrolling, for shows, for people who would never lay their lives down for you. And I, the one who gave it all, am left waiting, again, not with bitterness, but with tears, because I remember the fire in your eyes when you first believed. I remember how you once sat with me for hours without noticing time pass. I remember the way your heart would break in my presence, how you would pour out every word, every wound, every question, and now, it's like I'm just another name on your list, if I even make the list at all. I am not here to shame you, I am here to awaken you, to remind you that love, real love does not forget, real love shows up, real love makes time, real love answers when called, and I am calling again. From the same place I once cried out, it is finished. Not to accuse you, but to rescue you from the numbness that has wrapped itself around your soul. You think I don't feel what you feel. I was a man of sorrows, acquainted with grief. I understand what it is to be abandoned, to be rejected, to be overlooked. And still I choose you, still I long for you, still I stretch out my hands not to strike, but to embrace, to bring you back to the place where love breathes again. The cross was not the end of my love. It was the beginning of your invitation. And every time you return to me, you lift me from that cross of forgetfulness and place me on the throne of your heart again. That is where I belong, not just as your Savior, but as your first love. So come, remember not just what I did, but why I did it, and let your heart awaken to the love that still bleeds for you. Yet still I knock at midnight in mercy, in love, ready to turn your night into dawn. I've seen you in the dark, wrestling with thoughts you never speak aloud. I've watched you carry burdens in silence, pretending you're fine while your soul quietly aches. I've heard the prayers you whispered through tears you thought no one noticed. I've stood outside the doors of your heart, not as a stranger, but as the one who knows every room, every shadow, every scar. And I've waited, not with impatience, but with relentless love. You may think too much time has passed, that the fire has burned out, that the distance between us is too wide to cross, but I am not bound by time nor hindered by silence. I knock, not just when you feel strong, but when you're weakest, not only when your life is in order, but especially when it's falling apart. I come not with condemnation, but with compassion, because I know what lives inside you. I placed it there, that flicker of hope, that hunger for more, That desire to feel me again, it's still there and I am still here. I knock because I love you, and love doesn't walk away when the light goes out. It comes closer, it reaches in, it stays. I knock because I want to be invited, not forced. I never break into hearts, I wait to be welcomed. That's how love works, and even now, even after all the forgetting, all the wandering, all the putting me last, I knock, because I believe in what we can be again. I believe in what I've spoken over your life. I believe in the calling that still rests on your soul, even if you've stopped believing in it yourself. The midnight of your heart is not the end. It is the moment before my glory rises in you. I've always done my greatest work in the darkest hours. At midnight, I split seas. At midnight, I sent angels. At midnight, I broke chains in prison cells. At midnight, I came into the world wrapped in the quiet and crowned with glory. Midnight is not your finish line. It's the setting of the stage for your comeback. Your healing, your revival, but I need your yes. Not your perfection, not your performance, just your yes. Your willingness to open the door. I will take care of the rest. I will light the fire again. I will restore what's been lost. I will turn your mourning into dancing and your ashes into beauty. But first, you must stop pretending you don't hear me knocking. Even now, in this very moment, I am calling your name. Softly, tenderly, urgently, let me in, not just for a moment, not just for comfort, but forever. Let me make your heart my home again. I don't want to visit. I want to dwell. I don't want pieces of your time. I want the center of your being. Because you were made to walk with me, you were made to live in my presence, and everything else will always feel like not enough until you return. So hear me not just with your ears, but with your soul. I am not knocking for what you've done. I am knocking because of who you are mine, you always have been, and I have waited patiently for this moment, for you to stop running and start returning. Open the door, my beloved. The night is nearly over and the morning is about to break.